Welcome to a discussion between founder of Chelsea Paris Theresa Ebagua and singer-songwriter Vanessa Mdee about being authentically yourself and exploring your individuality.
My name is Theresa Ebagua. I'm the founder and creative director of Chelsea Paris. My heritage is Nigerian and I live between Los Angeles and London.
Hi, my name is Vanessa Mdee. I am a believer of Christ, Mrs. A, Mama 7. I'm an internationally acclaimed singer, songwriter, and performer. I boast platforms such as the For the Better app and the Deep Dive podcast. I am every single day an avid shoe lover, and I'm from Tanzania.
How did your heritage influence you and your identity?
My heritage is actually the fabric of my being. It informs my brand. The lessons and values I learned growing up in Nigeria guides my every step. And it's actually, I feel like I'm a walking representation of my heritage. Everything I do harkens back to where I'm from. And those lessons are lessons that are irreplaceable.
My heritage definitely influenced me in so many ways. Tanzania is known as the cradle of mankind. Therefore, we are the home of the first man. And we boast such beauty and pride. And I think that is special to our people. We also are very much a concoction of very many cultures that make the Swahili culture. So I think my culture has made me walk with my head high in knowing that I'm a very proud African and I am absolutely unapologetic about that.
What was the hardest obstacle you faced while trying to find your true self?
The hardest obstacle I had in trying to discover myself would definitely have to be trying to remain unaffected or unshaken by people's opinions of what they thought I should be. That was one of the hardest obstacles in trying to really dive into what is it that V wants? What is it that V likes? What is it that V wants to do? That was one of the hardest obstacles that I faced when I was trying to discover myself.
Finding yourself is actually really hard. Navigating through the different identity crises of being a teenager to an adult is very difficult. You feel the pressure to conform to societal values or societal expectations of you. For me, the biggest barrier or obstacle for me was trying to be better. Because as a Black woman in whatever industry I was in or whether I was school or work, I felt that pressure to always be better so that I could be taken more seriously and I could feel more relevant and that I belong. What I had to learn was that I had to define myself for myself. I had to please myself. The expectations were the expectations I put on myself. I still fall down today. I still feel some of this pressure today.
How do you stay true to yourself?
How I stay true to myself is that if it doesn't sit right by God, it doesn't sit right by me. And I know that I'm not going to get it right every single time, but I know that the continuous effort and growth in aligning with what is according to the word keeps me on track. Obviously, as a human, we're going to make mistakes, but I realized that this is the only way that I could stay centered and authentically myself and obviously wiser in my everyday.
For me, self-care is really, really key. I do yoga a lot just to kind of refine myself. It normally helps me. I feel like young girls have to find coping mechanisms that they can help alleviate their triggers.
I think what made it harder at the time was the obvious exposure. I was a teenager when I was exposed to a high level of fame. It was 13 years of a lot of microscopic observation. So every move that I made was being observed, and I did not really have a chance to discover myself or to center myself without the voices and opinions of many other people. What helped was centering myself in Christ. And it took me a while, but I'm so happy that I'm here.
What advice would you give to the younger generations?
The biggest advice I would give to the younger generation would be to strive towards being authentically you. It's really, really important to find yourself, to live in your purpose and stay grounded in your truth. The way you can do that for me is looking for a good role model. a role model that speaks to that self-positivity or to the values that you feel that gives you that confidence. And at times you're going to have low days. I still have low days, and it's okay to have low days. But during those low days, when you do step out, you want to try to still be confident, even if you have to fake it. In trying to project that confidence, even when you're not feeling your most confident self, eventually becomes your norm as you project it. And because it shines through, people will see that, and eventually it becomes who you truly are.
A piece of advice that I would give the younger generation is to be authentically you and be unapologetically you, but also be your own muse. And you hear these things a lot and you're like, what does that actually mean? Well, what it means is you can only really thrive if you're doing things from a place of honesty, from a place of authenticity. A good test is, do I want to say no, but am I saying yes? The biggest mistakes we make in our lives are mistakes that we make because we initially wanted to say no, but we said yes to whatever it may be. And that's a good litmus test, I think.
How does your brand help foster strength and confidence?
Of course, I am a big believer in wellness, and you can join me and my fiance on our wonderful app For the Better. We made it. It's especially for you. We believe in everything that we share on our app because it is exactly what we're doing to get better together. It's everyday betterment, everyday wellness, everyday growth. I truly believe that you don't have to remain the same person that you were yesterday because it is expected of you. If you are changing for the better, then you are on the right path. Remember to constantly check yourself and check, am I growing? Am I growing?
Ethos of our brand is to encourage individuality. So here at Chelsea Paris, we are building a collective of individuality rooted in purpose, one girl at a time. We're encouraging young women to be authentically themselves, to style themselves for themselves and not societal expectations. We are hoping every young girl that follows us or that looks up to Chelsea Paris will be a Chelsea Paris woman who's strong, who's confident, and not afraid to be herself. You have to be unapologetically you at your low moments or your high moments. And that's what we're encouraging with our brand and our products. Thank you.